Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, Nebraskans. I rise in opposition to this motion to bracket, and I will be supporting LB 1011. And this morning, since I got here, I observed something out in the rotunda that was very special. And one of the most special things that many students experience in Nebraska in their younger years is coming to the Capitol from all over the state, sometimes, on a bus for hours to come to a field trip and get to see their state capitol. And for many of these kids, this is the closest they've gotten to any interaction with government, to any kind of civic engagement. And these are the kinds of things that we are always encouraging schools to do and always encouraging students to be involved with. It's really the beginning of the watchfulness of the citizen, right? Is when the fourth graders come up and sit in this balcony and look over us, and it hopefully dawns on them and occurs to them that even though, we're a lot older people down here, that we are for them, and this government is for them, and that we are not above them. They're literally above us, looking down on us. And that's a habit that I hope will continue for them throughout their lives, whether as Nebraskans or wherever it is that they go move. And one of the most special things that they can do in the Capitol is get the tour, right? And we love seeing the children out in the rotunda, sitting in a circle in the rotunda under the dome, learning about the symbolism of the mosaic on the floor, telling the story of evolution, learning the symbolism of the chandeliers above them and the beautiful mosaics and the quotes about government and equity and justice that line the ceiling. And this morning, the children that were here visiting the Capitol did not get to have that opportunity. They didn't get to have that experience because something else was going on out in the rotunda. Chuck Herbster having another press conference and political rally for his campaign for governor. Reasonable people can agree that that's wrong, that this building is for everybody, that these children should not be denied the opportunity to appreciate their state capitol so that a man in a cowboy hat wearing a suit that costs more than my car can come displace children that are here to learn about their state so that he can have a political rally. Reasonable people can agree that that's not in the best interest of trusting government or the purpose of this institution. And I think that we need to look at a serious rule change, culture change. Does this need to come from the executive board? I don't know. But we need to prevent political rallies from happening in the rotunda. I don't like it no matter what, and I, capital H, hate it when it happens and displaces children from the rotunda, students who come here from all over the state, driving for hours in some cases, to learn about this beautiful building, and they don't get to see the chandelier, they don't get to see the ceiling and the mosaics, they get to see a political rally. That is not what government is about, and that's not what civic education should be about. There are agreements that reasonable people can come to, and it concerns me to see a lack of moderation in this body. This is me saying this, right? It concerns me to see a lack of moderation in government.
1 minute.
Man, I've got a lot more than a minute to say. Moderation is when reasonable people can agree on something. Whether we're talking about children using litter boxes in schools, which reasonable people can agree is not happening in schools in Nebraska, in rural Nebraska. It's not happening. Be reasonable. Or whether we're talking about banning abortion with no exception for rape or incest or for the life of the mother or anything, reasonable people can agree that's absurd. Or we're talking about banning teachers from teaching about the good and the bad and the ugly of the history of this country. Reasonable people can agree that that makes no sense. Passing tax cuts that we can afford this year when we have a ton of extra revenue, but will not be sustainable over time for revenue in this state. Reasonable people can agree that that doesn't make sense. We got to walk it back. We're doing some extreme things.
Time, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President.